Well, hey everybody, this is Norman.
And Debbie.
And we're here at the end of week 6 of legislative session. Just 3 more to go. Starting with a really cool victory report earlier on this week. House Bill 1080, the Help Not Harm Bill, has been signed by Governor Noem, so that is now law here in South Dakota. It'll go into effect July 1st, but Help Not Harm has passed all the way through the legislative process and is law here in South Dakota. But next, let's talk about what happened else this week.
Just today we had 2 bad bills on pregnant minors that would have really deteriorated parental rights in our state. These were the bills that was vetoed by the governor last year, and this year Melissa Magstadt from the Department of Health came. She had an amazing testimony. The first bill died 3-10, and then the second bill was tabled, so that was a huge victory for us.
Next, we'll do House Bill 1092. We mentioned this in a previous video. It was a bill to redefine marriage here in South Dakota. And in committee, we pointed out that first, this sends the state down the wrong direction, sending the wrong message, but also is functionally useless because of current Supreme Court precedent and the South Dakota Constitution. But the real story here started afterwards. You may have seen a tweet by Representative Healy saying that our claim that the safest place for a child is in a home of a married mom and dad is dangerous and un-American. And that's sparked quite the story nationwide. There's been a bunch of different people from both sides writing on the issue, so that's sparked quite the interesting story, just the simple claim that the safest place for a child is in the home of a healthy married mom and dad. So that's where that is. It'll be kind of fun to watch how that story unfolds.
Yeah, and then we had the bill 1220, which was just to clarify that we don't criminalize pregnant women who get an abortion in South Dakota. We go after the doctors. So that bill had excellent testimony from the governor's office and the AG's office, and just sailed through on consent. So that will be on the consent calendar on Tuesday.
Another bill that was in committee that didn't actually make it out was Senate Bill 193. Senator Castleberry brought a bill to ensure that schools have a policy in place for parents to review new books and curriculum coming in, and also have a good policy for how parents can request a review of a book that's been approved or curriculum that's been approved that has inappropriate material in it. We have Moms for Liberty came into the Capitol today just to really point out that there's really some inappropriate material in certain schools, in certain libraries. So this bill was really pointing out that we need to have good policies for review on the front end and afterwards. The bill died in committee, but a lot of good information was put out there, and so I think we're probably going to see that either people going to their school boards to resolve the issue, or come back to next legislative session if the school boards don't fix the issue. So that's one that we're going to see ongoing throughout the year, and maybe come back next year if it isn't fixed at the local levels.
The next bill we're going to talk about is sports betting. That's HJR 5006. It was to just dramatically expand sports betting in South Dakota so that bets could be made on a mobile device. So taking it from in the casino, with your buddies, to in isolation. So just a very addictive kind of way to gamble. It passed in the committee yesterday by 1 vote, and today it was heard on the House floor, and it was overwhelmingly defeated. So that was a big win to take on our way home this week.
Yep. And one more bill we'll talk about here is Representative Chris Carr's bill to say that state resources and state property will not be used for obscene performances like the drag shows that we saw at SDSU earlier this year. So really glad to see that bill go forward. It passed out of committee with good support, passed off the floor of the House 60-10, so that now heads to the Senate, which again, as we look forward to next week, that's one bill that we'll continue to work on. There's another bill that would say they're going to allow sports betting in kiosks in casinos outside of Deadwood. Again, another potential sports betting expansion. And there's a couple life pieces that we'll be watching as well. The 1220, there's a really good resolution, etc. But to see all of these bills that we're working on, again, visit our legislative radar at fhaaction.org. You can see all of our videos, our blog posts, all of our bills we're working on at fhaaction.org. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.